Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to make a horizontal mini journal. Now this is not my idea, but I thought it was a cute little project, so this is what we're going to do today. So if you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other ones. Now, you can actually make this with whatever size paper that you have. I'm just using a piece that was left over from a different project. So that's what I'm going to cut my strips with. It's a double-sided paper. So that's the top side. And this is the back. Now you can use single-sided if you want, but on your back you might want to either add another piece of paper, the parts that's going to show, add another piece of paper or stamp or stencil, or just color it with your ink or something. So let me tell you what size this is. It is, let me make sure I'm on the camera. It is about 7.5 wide and 10.25 long. Now you can do this with 12 by 12 papers. You can do it with 8.5 by 11. The size paper you use is just going to depend on the size of your strips. So this is what I had. So my strips are narrow, and they are 2.5 inches wide. So we're going to and so you're going to cut each strip at 2.5 inches wide. And then we're going to score. And our first strip we're going to score at 2.5 inches. Our second strip we're going to score at 3.5 inches. And our third strip we're going to score at 4.5 inches. So it's easy project. And if you don't have a scoreboard, just use your ruler and something to make a line, or just mark them and fold them over. So now that we have that done, if you want to ink, I would go ahead and ink. And I wanted my edges to look fancy, so I just used my Pinkin shears and I pinked my edges. If you have edge punches, you could use them to make them fancy, or you can just use them straight and round your corners, however you want to do it. So you're going to figure out, because we're going to stack these together, so you're going to figure out what you want your little top flap to be. And I think I want my flower on top. So we're going to put this one like this. So the next one we're going to turn over. No, we're not. We're going to leave it like this. So we have this one with this background showing. So we're going to leave the flower facing up, and we're just going to fold this over. Put this in here. Then we're going to turn this one over so we have our flower on top, and slide that in here. So we have every other layer is the opposite color. Okay, so this is why you really want something on the back of your paper also. So now that we have this done, we're just going to go ahead and sew it in. I'm going to use the pamphlet stitch. So if you use your sewing machine, you can sew it in with your sewing machine. Or if you have a long enough stapler, you can just staple them. But I'm just going to sew it in. So I'm going to go off and sew. It'll only take me a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, so most everyone has seen this done. That's why I just thought I would go off and do it. But I've done it in other videos, and there's a lot of videos out there that do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So, okay. Now we can decorate our little journal, folio, whatever you might want to call it. So I have everything cut out and ready. So this is not going to be a super long video because it's not, I mean, there's not a whole lot extra that you have to do to it. So I didn't figure that there was any sense in inking so much on here. Okay. So this says hope is a walking dream. So I'm just going to put this on the front. And then I'm going to put a little butterfly on it. Filled my glue this morning, so I don't dare to leave it tipped over because it'll run all over the place. So this could either be sewn into a, you could have it sewn into your journal. These would be journal or scrapbook, either one. We don't have to have everything just for journals, because I still like scrapbooks. Or you can have it as a standalone. You could give it to somebody as a gift. And they can put some of their memories and stuff in them. I have all of these pieces numbered so I knew where each one went. All I'm doing on this one is just putting a piece of coffee dyed paper in for journaling. Just thought it was a different, cute little project. And that's all I'm going to add on there. And we'll move to this one. And you can decorate your pages any way that you want. I tried to do something different on each one of them. I'm going to make a little belly band. I'm just going to do the top and the bottom. Make it too thick or I won't be able to get my tag in there. And I just used leftovers from the papers I had also printed where they were just single-sided. So just using them for like little pockets and stuff in here. And then I just cut little tags out of this paper. It's just a script. And that'll just slide right under there. So the back is plain for journaling. Then on this one, I'm going to do a little pocket. So many ways that you can decorate. Make sure I did this right. Oh, and on this one, I used, what did I do with the scissors? I used this set of scissors to cut this design. I don't know if you can actually make out what it is. It's just kind of a, you know, it's just something like that. And that pair cuts pretty good. I used a different pair for one of the pockets and it didn't cut very good. Now on this one I'm just going to glue along the bottom and up the side. Some of these fancy scissors that I have, I mean, they're cheap, but some of them don't cut very good. And some of them I've had for a long time. So we'll have that pocket there. And then we just have this little tag. So we have to put it this way. See, and like this little tag here is only 2.5 by 1 3/4. But it's still a nice little tag. This tag here is 2 7/8 by 1 3/4. So they're still nice size tags, you know, for a mini journal for just journaling on. Okay, so now on this one, I made a little notepad just out of some coffee dyed paper. They were just scraps and they were different sizes. So I just laid them like that. I used my pinking shears to pink the edges, and then I just added a piece of this paper on the top, and I just stapled them together. So I thought that made a cute addition. And I'm just going to put it right about there. And when this folds over, some of your paper still shows, but that's just fine. And you can see some of what is in it. Okay, so now on this one, make sure I'm keeping up with what I'm doing. 1 2 3 4 5 6. On number 6, I'm doing two little pockets, and I don't think I have this on the right. No, this is number 7. This is not number 6. Hang on, we're not ready for that one yet. This one is number 6. See, that's why I have them marked. I'm just going to put a little piece of coffee dyed paper there, and this, and it says one defining moment. Longest part of doing this for me was the inking. That's why I don't like to ink on video. And then I'm just going to overlap this just a little tiny bit. Okay, so there's that. Now we move on to this. So this one is number 7. So I had these 2 little pieces, and I figured it was big enough for a pocket, but this was a little bit of a longer piece, so I thought maybe I could put double pockets in. But let me see. I might have to kind of adjust them a little bit so they'll both fit on here. Otherwise I'll have to trim them down a little bit. So I think this one can slide a little bit more this way, and this can slide a little bit more this way. And I think that'll work like that. So these little tags are 2.5 by the 1 3/4. So I'm just going to try to barely put a little glue on here, just on the 3 sides. So on this page we get, or on, yeah, this page, if you want to call it a page, I don't know, we'll get a double pocket. Just in a little bit different way. I thought it was a pretty cool idea. That was a big glob of glue. I don't want to push too hard down on it because I don't want it to spread out into my pocket. So we have, and then you have to make sure that everything folds over. So we have them there. So that works. You just don't want to slide them in too far and get them stuck. We'll have to check on them in a couple minutes. All right, now on this one, we're going to have a little double pocket on this one. So this was one of the scrap cutoff pieces. And I'm just going to glue this here. I also used these scissors to cut this edge. And then this piece was cut off from one of them, so I figured there was no sense wasting the cutoff, so I would just make a little tiny pocket. And if you're making these to put into your journal also, you know, you would make them like to whatever size your page is. So you would have to figure that also. And then we'll just set this on here for a little baby pocket. No sense throwing it away. So how's everyone doing today? Did everyone get caught in that ice storm? We got ice. Probably not as bad as some other places, but now this piece here is 1 3/4 by about 1 7/8. So that's just a little baby. We're not going to want to slide that in all the way. This is 1 3/4 wide by 5. And this will go in right here. Okay, but before I put that in there, I just want to add a little butterfly up here, just so when you take your tag out, there's something else there to see. Now this video will probably go up tomorrow, which means the ice storm would have already happened. I gotta get a little glue on there or his tail will get knocked off. Oops. Okay, so there's that page. What are you thinking so far? All right, let's see. This is number 9. So again, I used them same scissors on this edge. And I'm just going to, I cut this so it goes right to the edge of this also, because it didn't look right when it was back here. I was just going to leave it, you know, with the flat edge, but it didn't look right. So we'll just kind of dab some glue on there, so hopefully it sticks. I need to do this first and then put this down. Now this pocket here, I went all the way to the edge. So I would have room for the tag. So when it closes, it'll look like that, and you'll see this part of the tag. I mean, this part of the pocket. So on here, we're going to have this little butterfly and live every day with intention. Sometimes the way this glue oozes out of here is why I don't really fill it too full. Because it has a mind of its own. And I like using Fabri-Tac. I like my art glitter glue too, but I don't know. It's kind of cool in here, so it doesn't really run very good. So we'll put that about there. I could have had this moved down just a little farther, but it's there. And then this tag is 2 inches wide by 6. That fits down in there nice. Now this one I thought would be pretty cool if we did a waterfall. So these are cut at 2 1/4 by 2¼ so it's a square. 2¼ by 2¼ and then I just scored this at 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to start right around in this area here, and I'm going to put, I think there's 5, yes, I'm going to put 5 down. So on the back of it is just coffee dyed paper, so you can journal on it, or you can add a little photo. I'm going to stay down away from the top of it a little bit. So that'll flip right up and you'll be able to journal. Let me look at that and make sure that's straight. I think it's straightly cockeyed. Just made up my own word, straightly cockeyed. Let me just burnish this down a little bit. One of these, when I folded it, didn't fold right. That looks better. So I'm going to do every other one. Of the flowers and this other background. I'm just going to butt that up against there. And I angled these corners. Let me see, that's the background and that's a flower, so we need a flower. Now hopefully I'm not off the camera. I just want to make for sure that I make these as even as possible. This one here looks like it might be a little tiny bit wider. But when you coffee dye paper, it gets ripples in it. And this coffee dyed paper definitely has ripples in it. And I don't iron it. I guess some people iron it, but I don't. So we'll say that that's good. And it is a junk journal, so I think I'll just go ahead and continue putting these down, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so there's that. So we have the first one and the second one, the third one, and you know, like I say, this one looks a little bit bigger, but I think it'll be fine. And this one and this one. Now, down here on this part here, if you wanted to add more of the plain paper that you can journal on, or you can add a photo, you can add anything you want. I just thought that a little waterfall would be cute, and when it's folded over, it's going to lay flat. So, or you can add more waterfalls to go all the way down here, but for right now, I'm just going to leave it at the 5. If I decide later that I want to add something else to it, then I can do that also. But right now, that's what we're doing on that page. Sometimes it's good to leave space for other stuff. And then this will be our last page, because then this is the back. And if you want to decorate the back, you can also do that if it's just going to be a standalone. I'm going to even this up again with this part. So maybe I should put this under here. And this is the pair of scissors that I used for this design, and this didn't cut very good. I had to go along, and I don't know if you can see that or not. I had to go along and trim some of it. Sorry about that. So anyways, I had to go along and trim some of it. So it didn't exactly work out the way I wanted it to, but that's what we have. But it's cute. I mean, when the scissors work like they're supposed to, there's so many different designs that you get in them. It's just not all of them work very good. And then again along here, I'm just going to kind of brush my finger along there so I make sure I get glue on that. We'll even that up first, and then we'll put this down. And again, this pocket here is lined up with the edge. Okay. Then on the pocket, we're going to put follow your own path with another little butterfly. And I think that other butterfly, I don't think I gave him his antennas. So we'll have to go back through and look. So I'm going to put him here. Okay, now this is 6.5 inches by 2. And that fits in there very nice. So let me give him his antennas. And then we'll look through it now. And when I find that other butterfly, I'll give them their antennas. Okay, so this is our first page. And then we have writing on our second page. We have a journal card here. We have another journal card here. And we have a little paper pad on this one. And then you can also put a little photo or something under here, because they have cameras that make little mini photos. Then we have some journal space here and one defining moment. Then we have little double pockets here, and you could always decorate these pockets with a little butterfly or something. Then we have a double pocket here with little journaling space and a pretty butterfly. Then here we have live every day with intention and a journaling card. For such a little tiny mini journal, there's a lot of journaling space. Then here we have a waterfall. And if you have them little tiny photos, they could go on the front. You can journal on the back. And then you can also add photos or more journaling space here. And then our last journal card. And we fold this over. Now on the back, I would add some, maybe ribbon or yarn or something, and bring it around and tie it. Give me just a second. Okay, so seeing how we have all these different colors, I have this eyelash yarn, and I would say to hook it to the back. And then you could always put more paper or something over it. Let me put a little bit of glue back here. Let's see if we can just glue it down a little bit. So you could just, if you didn't want this showing, you could take a little strip of paper and cover over it. And I would just lightly maybe go up here to the top so you don't curl it too much. And here we go with this fiddling around with this yarn again, because I have glue on my fingers. And we could just tie it like that. That's not a very good bow, but that's all I'm going to do right now. There we go. And then this can be trimmed off, but that's our video for today. What do you think about the little mini horizontal journal? Let me know down in the comments. And if you like it, I ask that you give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd like to invite you to subscribe so you get notification when I upload new videos. And I hope everyone comes back to see me for my next one. And until then, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now.